Welcome to the Toad Vlogs morning show, and now I'd like to talk about the G20 summit 8 months ago in Toronto. The people are calling for an inquiry. Still, the Canadian people are pissed. During the G20 summit, the protests that took place, the protesters were outnumbered by the police probably about 20 to 1. There was over 5,000 troops and police officers for a couple hundred protesters. And the police actually used what's called a false flag, where they got some police members to dress up like protesters, and they went out to cause trouble. They set a police car on fire and did all kinds of other mischief, like breaking windows and stuff like that, so that they could arrest and harass the protesters, most of which who were peaceful people. But now allegations are coming out of police abuse, which we already knew. They tied one man hands behind his legs, or behind him, put it, in those little twisty tie things, and then they pulled off his artificial leg and told him to hop to the police car. What? Why'd you have to pull off his leg? Another man who was protesting peacefully woke up the next morning and they shoved a taser in his face. In Canada, the taser has become the police's choice of they like to use it for abuse. It is a weapon, a potentially deadly weapon. It's supposed to be used to disarm a subject who is a threat to themselves or others. It is not used for crowd control, or at least it shouldn't be. So we really need an investigation into why the police, felt the need to fake criminal acts by protesters, by posing as the protesters and committing the criminal acts themselves, and two, why there was so much abuse of the protesters. I mean, look at what protests have done in Egypt, Libya, Wisconsin, and here in Canada, we don't even respect the civil rights of our own people enough to allow them to peacefully protest without interfering. This is not the first time. Canada has a long history of abuse of protesters. I remember there was another G20, or was it G20 or G8 summit in BC several years back, where the police pepper sprayed peaceful protesters for no apparent reason, just so they could move them. Canada's police tactics when it comes to protests is out of control, and it's a shame. Thank you.